What would you do if God asked for your reputation? Not your money, not your comfort, but your dignity. Peter was asked that question, and this is how he walked toward his answer. Peter. In the courtyard, the firelight licks his face, but it's the weight of a single glance that will burn him alive. One denial, then another, then a third. Each word a stone dropped into the well of his soul. And you, have you ever spoken a lie that echoed louder than the truth? Have you felt the slow collapse of who you thought you were? Charcoal glows. Orange veins pulse beneath ash. The coals hiss like serpents disturbed. Smoke curls upward, thin and black, vanishing into the breathless dark. A flicker catches the edge of his tunic, frayed wool, salt stiff from years on the lake. A girl, young, barefoot on cold stone. Her finger jabs the air, points at him, voice sharp, cutting through the hush like a knife through wet linen. You were with him. The words hang, no escape in the shadows. He pulls the cloak tighter, wool scrapes his neck, his breath comes fast, shallow, eyes dart, to the gate, to the stairs, to the faces half hidden in smoke. No friend there, no hand offered, only silence, thick, smothering. Then sound, distant, a rooster. One cry, then another, sharp, insistent. The cold air shivers with it, the cry of dawn, the cry of betrayal fulfilled. Inside, stone walls, torchlight flickers on marble. Jesus turns, just once, a slow pivot. His face, calm, bloodied, unbroken. And through the wall, through time, through stone, through the weight of denial, his eyes find Peter's. Not angry, not scornful, just knowing. The gaze lands, like a stone in still water. Peter freezes, his chest caves. A gasp, dry, ragged. The fire's heat vanishes, sudden cold. His knees tremble, the cloak slips from one shoulder. Forgotten, he runs. Boots slam stone, breath tears his throat, tears blur the path, salt on cracked lips. He doesn't look back, can't. The courtyard, the fire, the girl's voice, all echo inside his skull. Louder than thunder. Morning, Sea of Galilee. Mist hangs low, gray water, no horizon. Just fog and silence. Peter stands on the shore, barefoot, sand cold beneath his feet. His hands, calloused, scarred, hang at his sides. A fire, small, on the sand. Fish sizzle, skin crisping. The smell, oil, salt, char, rises. It hits him, not just the scent, the memory. The courtyard, the coals, the lie. A man tends the fire. Stranger, bare feet, hands turned toward the flame. He looks up, quiet. Do you love me? The voice, soft, familiar, like wind through olive branches. More than these, the nets, the boat, the sea, the old life, the failure, all of it hangs in the air, unspoken, heavy. Peter's throat tightens. No boldness now, no promises, just the ache of a heart split open. He nods, voice barely a whisper. You know I do. The waves. They crash again, again, endless. The fire smolders. The stranger offers bread. The mist does not lift, and the question, still unanswered, echoes over the water. Night drapes over the city. 1,000 torches scattered, flickering, like sparks from a dying pyre. Jerusalem breathes in shadows, stone upon stone, weight upon weight. The walls rise, jagged teeth against the sky, hewn from limestone, scarred by time and siege. They do not welcome. They watch. They remember. Every footfall echoes as trespass. Above, the stars are faint, smothered by smoke, by prayer, by fear. Roman sentinels move along the parapets. Boots grind against gravel. Metal grates on metal. A breastplate shifts. A sword scabbard taps thigh. Rhythmic, relentless. The sound of occupation, not protection. Their eyes scan the alleys, the courtyards, the breath between silences. Inside, the air is thick, not with heat, but with held breath, with unspoken accusation. A spear rests against the wall, iron tip darkened, not with blood, not yet, but with intent. It leans, patient, waiting, like a judge who knows the verdict before the trial. Slaves press against the edges, shoulders to stone, ears open, lips sealed. Soldiers stand in clusters, laughing low, javelins propped like walking sticks. And in the center, bound, bent, a man they call king, mockery in their grins, power in their posture. The hierarchy is not drawn, it is felt. In the space between bodies, in the silence when a voice falls too loud, to be seen near him. That is enough. Association is guilt. A glance, a shared breath, a name spoken in passing. The charge needs no proof, only suspicion, like mold. It spreads in the dark. One word, Galilean, and the net tightens. Words were not idle once. They were bonds, covenants, a vow carved into the air. To speak was to pledge. To deny, under oath, was to unravel the self. To tear the fabric others wove around your name. Honor was not owned. It was held in the hands of the community. And now, his words lie broken. 3 times. 3 stones in the dark, each heavier than the last. He was from the north, from water and wind, from open sky and nets heavy with silver fish. Here, walls press close, voices curl like smoke. He smells of lake salt, of sweat, of fear. They know. They see the rough hands, the accent, the way he stands, too wide, too sure, until he isn't. The mob, it waits. Just beyond the gate, a low hum, like bees before the swarm. One spark, just one cry. They will flood in, tear limb from limb. The cross stands ready, not for him, not yet. But its shadow stretches, long, cold. It touches his feet, his hands, his neck. He had said he would die before he would deny. Bold, loud, in the upper room, wine on his breath, fire in his chest. Now, those words return, not as courage, as mockery. They coil in his gut. A serpent made of his own voice. He had named himself Rock. Now he feels like dust, blown, scattered, unheld. They thought a crown would come, not thorns. They thought armies, not silence. The Messiah, conqueror, liberator. Not this, not bound, not bleeding, not looking through stone into his soul. The dream collapses, not with a shout, with a breath, a single breath, and the weight of it crushes more than stone ever could. He followed, but not close, at a distance, one shadow among many, one breath in the hush. He did not walk beside. He trailed, like guilt, like regret, like a man who knows he does not belong, who knows he will fail, and still comes. The firelight. It warmed his skin, but the memory burns deeper. The girl's voice, not loud, not cruel, just certain. And his answer, quick, sharp, denying, as if cutting rope to save himself from a sinking ship. But the ship was not sinking. It was being lifted, and he cut loose. The sky did not split. Thunder did not roll. No voice from heaven, no hand from the clouds, only silence. A silence so vast it swallows prayer. Where was the God of Sinai, of fire, of thunder? Gone, or watching, or turning away. The silence is the heaviest thing of all. The coals still glow in his mind, in his chest. The smell of burning fish, the crackle of skin, the hiss of fat on flame. It returns, not as hunger, as judgment. The fire on the shore, the voice across the smoke. Do you love me? Not, are you strong? Not, were you brave? But love, simple, terrible, unearned. He cannot speak, not hear, not now. The words are ash in his mouth. The weight is not in the shoulders. It is in the breath, each one drawn like a blade. The past does not pass. It kneels on the chest and waits. The fire, dying, embers sinking into themselves. A breath stirs the ash, then stillness. The girl steps forward, not tall, not armed, just a servant. Her eyes catch the glow, lock on him. She speaks. No shout, no curse, just a statement, flat, final. You were with him. The words land, not on his ears, on his ribs, a pressure. He feels the weight of every stone in the courtyard. The air thickens, smells of burnt wood, of damp wool, of his own skin slick with cold sweat. He answers, fast, too fast. Woman, I do not know him. The denial, it leaves his mouth like a stone thrown into a well. No echo, just the fall. A man turns, one of the guards, lean, narrow face. He studies Peter, not with anger, with recognition. A slow tilt of the head, then the voice, quiet, certain. Your speech gives you away. You're from Galilee. The accent, that northern lilt, the way the vowels curl like smoke. Peter feels it, in his throat, in his chest. He shakes his head, backs a step. Man, I am not. The lie, it scrapes like gravel in the wind. He looks down. The firelight flickers on his sandals, dusty, split at the strap. He remembers fishing, the pull of the net, the slap of silver against wood. Now, only this, the heat, the smoke, the eyes. Time slows, an hour or a lifetime. The coals dim, the circle tightens, shadows stretch, longer, leaner. The air hums, not with sound, with breath, held, waiting. Someone shifts, a boot scrapes stone, a cloak brushes the ground. Then, another voice, older, deeper, from the edge of the firelight. A man, face half in shadow. Didn't I see you? In the garden? With him? The garden, the torches, the sword, the ear. Cut, blood on the grass, Peter's hand. The memory floods. He sees it. The man's brother, the cry, the silence after. He shakes his head, violent, desperate. I do not know the man. The words, 3 times, spoken, done. A stone dropped into the well, then another, then another. The air shudders. A sound, sharp, sudden. A rooster, crowing, not once, twice. The cry splits the dark, cuts through the smoke. Peter freezes. The blood drains from his face. His hands go numb. He looks up, through the wall, through the stone, through the weight of his own voice. And there, Jesus turns, just once, a slow turn of the head, the face, bruised, swollen, blood in the corner of the mouth, but the eyes, clear, deep, not accusing, not furious, just seeing, just knowing. And in that look, Peter sees everything, the promise, the warning, the love, the breaking. He remembers the words spoken in the upper room. Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. They return, not as memory, as judgment, as fire in the bones. He stumbles back. The cloak slips. He doesn't feel it, doesn't hear the laughter, doesn't see the faces, only the eyes. That look, that knowing. He turns, runs, boots on stone, slipping, catching, breath tearing, like cloth ripped in 2. He bursts into the street. Cold air slaps his face. Tears come, hot, silent. They blur the path. He doesn't stop, doesn't look back. The city behind him, the fire, the girl, the rooster, the look, all inside, all now. He falls to his knees, in an alley, hands on stone, head down, weeps, not softly, not quietly. Great heaving sobs, like a man drowning on dry land. The sky lightens, dawn bleeds into the east, but he does not see it. Only the dark, only the weight, only the words spoken and broken. Days pass, or years. Time blurs. The Sea of Tiberias, gray, still. No wind, no ripple. The disciples in a boat, nets in the water. All night, nothing. The lines hang slack, the wood creaks, the oars rest. Empty. Peter stands at the bow, face to the water, hands on the rail, salt on his skin. The same salt, from the lake, from the sweat. From the tears, dawn again, but no fire, no voice, only the sea, endless, empty, a figure on the shore, standing, still. They don't know him. The light plays tricks, mist on the water, the shape familiar, but not. A voice carries, soft but clear. "Children, have you caught anything?" They call back. "No." The man says, "Cast the net on the right side." They do. The net fills, so heavy, the ropes strain, the boat tilts, they can't pull it in. John whispers, "It is the Lord." Peter hears. He grabs his coat, throws it on, jumps into the water, swims hard, fast, feet hit sand. He runs up the shore toward the fire. A fire, burning, fish on a spit, bread, the smell, warm, real. The man stands, turns, looks at him, hands scarred, feet bare. He says, "Bring some of the fish you've caught." Peter drags the net, full, heavy, 153. The number sticks for no reason, just there. They eat in silence. The fire crackles, the waves lap, the sky lightens. Then, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" The voice, not loud, not harsh, like water over stone. Peter nods. "Yes, Lord, you know I do." The man says, "Feed my lambs." Again, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter's voice cracks. "Yes, Lord, you know everything. You know I love you. Tend my sheep." A third time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter grieves. The three questions, the three denials. He says, "Lord, you know all things. You know I love you. Feed my sheep." The sun dips below the horizon. The sea turns gold, then red, then dark. The fire burns low. The man walks ahead. Peter follows. Not at a distance, close. The past is not undone, but it is held. The weight remains, but it is shared. The sea breathes, the sky darkens, and the questions answered, not with promises, but with presence. Sunset, low, the horizon a molten seam. Light spills upward, gilding the bellies of clouds. A flare, golden, blinding, catching the edge of the water, the rim of the fire, the hollows of Peter's face. The same coals, charred wood, ash drifting, but not the same fire, not the same night, not the same silence. One fire fed by fear, this one fed by grace. Then, enemies circled, breath sharp with suspicion. Now, friends gather, breath slow with smoke and salt. The flames then flickered on drawn swords, on leather straps, on the girl's unblinking stare. Now they dance on wet linen, on calloused hands, on bread broken without haste. The first fire judged, this one feeds. He denied beside flames that offered no warmth, only exposure. Now he stands before flames that offer food, offer voice, offer name. Simon, son of John. Not Peter, not rock, not yet. The name before the promise, the name before the fall, the name before the mending. 3 times the lie left his lips, swift, brittle, final. 3 times the cock split the dark. 3 times the truth collapsed inside him. Now, 3 times the question. Not, did you fail? Not, why did you run? But do you love me? Love, not strength, not loyalty earned, not courage proven. Love. The one thing he thought he'd lost. The one thing he couldn't claim. Yet the one thing Christ demands. Each question lands like a stone in still water. Ripples spread. Memory stirs. The courtyard. The guard's tilt of the head. The third denial spit from his mouth like venom. And now, this. Not accusation. Invitation. The shepherd walks the shore, not with staff, not with rod, with scars, with fish, with bread. He who was struck tends the one who struck out in fear. He who was bound restores the one who broke free too soon. Peter grieves, not for the past, but for the love so freely given, so poorly guarded. His answers come not as oaths, but as breaths, as if each word must be pulled from the depths where shame once drowned him. And Christ receives them, not as restitution, as relationship. The cross he fled now stands before him, not as threat, but as destiny. The same wood, the same nails, the same weight, but now chosen. The prophecy comes. When you are old, you will stretch out your hands, not to deny, to yield, to be bound, not by guards, but by glory. He will wear the cross, not as a criminal, but as a king. This moment, on the shore, by the coals, is the cross made personal. Not just a death for sins, but a resurrection for failures. The same fire that once revealed his cowardice now reveals his calling. Christ does not hand back his boldness, he transforms it. The sword-swinging zealot becomes the shepherd who lays down his life, not in impulse, in obedience. The Spirit, unseen, unspoken, already at work. The same breath that stirred the ash now fills his lungs. The same power that raised Christ will steady his voice in the temple courts, will open his mouth before rulers, will carry him to Rome. Flesh failed, Spirit fulfills. The Passover lamb roasted in fire, eaten in haste, blood on the doorposts, protection in the night. Christ, the true lamb, offered not in haste, but in holiness, roasted not on coals, but on wood, his blood not on lintels, but on the throne. And now, bread, fish, fire, a meal, not in flight, in fellowship. The bread of life feeds those who once fled. Every denial covered, not excused, redeemed. The tomb, empty, not sealed, not guarded, open. The stone rolled not by angels to keep him in, but to show he's gone. Gone not in defeat, but in victory. The resurrection, the seal on every promise, the answer to every failure. Peter's tears were real. So was the dawn. His shame was deep. So was the love. The fire on the beach, small, flickering, temporary, but pointing to an eternal flame, one not fed by wood, but by the breath of God, one where every failure is known and loved, where every denial is met not with silence, but with a voice. Do you love me? And the answer, no longer ash, but ember, alive, glowing, rising, water, still, a mirror laid flat under the sky, no ripple, no break, just the hush of surface meeting light. The sun climbs, soft, pale gold, pouring across the lake like oil. It pools in the hollows, gathers along the reeds, the far shore blurred, a suggestion, not a line. You can see the clouds below as if they'd fallen, as if heaven had dipped its face to drink. We've all stood in that courtyard, cold stone beneath our feet. Words we didn't mean, spilled like water from a cracked jar. We've turned away, looked down, refused to meet the eyes that knew us, that named us, that loved us even as we lied. But here, no judgment waits, only a fire, small, humble, fish turning on a spit, bread warming in the coals. He doesn't call you failure. He calls you by your name, the one your mother used, the one before the fall, before the fracture. He asks only this: do you love me? Not, why did you run? Not, how could you speak that way? Just love, the quiet pulse beneath the noise, the ember that never went out, even when buried in ash. He doesn't demand perfection, only presence. Your heart, scarred, shaking, still beating, and you answer, not with a shout, with a breath, a whisper, a nod. And it is enough, more than enough. It is the beginning of a life rebuilt not on strength, but on surrender, on being known, fully, deeply, and loved anyway. Peter walked away from that shore, not the same man. The past still clung, like salt in the folds of his tunic, but it no longer defined him. He would preach. His voice would shake the temple. Thousands would turn, not because he was flawless, but because he had been found. So, rest now. Let the weight settle, not crush, settle, like silt in still water. The rooster crowed, yes, but dawn came, and with it, grace, not earned, not bargained for, given, freely, fully. Feel the warmth on your face, the coolness of the earth beneath you, the rhythm of your breath, slowing, matching the rise and fall of the lake. No need to speak, no need to prove. You are seen, you are held, you are fed. The fire fades, the coals dim, but the warmth remains in your chest, in your bones, in the quiet between heartbeats. Breathe it in, this peace, this restoration, this love that asks only to be received. And now, stillness, the water, the light, the hush. Let it carry you. Let it hold you. Let it be enough. Just this, just now, just you. Here, known, loved, at rest. The waves, gentle, lapping. A soft light, fading into silence.